In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the parking brake shoes on this BMW 535i xDrive. These are going to be located behind the rear wheels. Let's get into it. I'm going to remove the wheel. Use a 17mm socket. Take the lug bolts out. Before I take the last one off, I'm going to hold the wheel on, take that one off, and grab the wheel, pull it off. This one's stuck on there. Just take one of the lug bolts, just put it on a couple threads. I'm just going to use a hammer on the back side, give the wheel a tap, just hit on the tire. That'll loosen it up. And now we can take that last one out and pull the wheel off. On the passenger side, we have the sensor for the brake pad sensor. I'm just going to use some needle nose pliers. Just pry that out. There's the little clip. Sometimes those pop off. I'll just push that back on. And over at the bleeder, take the cap off. Then you can have this out of the way. I'm going to take the caliper and the bracket off together. Take these two bolts out. Use an 18mm socket. Take these bolts out. Grab the caliper, slide it back. I'm going to take a brake caliper hanger and just hang it from the coil spring. I'm going to take this screw out. I'm going to use a 6mm hex socket. Take that out and grab the rotor, slide it off. If it's sticking or if it's stuck on there, you can use a hammer and just give it a tap. Loosen it up. Now I'm going to take the springs out. I'm using a 5mm hex key or Allen key. Just push in and then twist. This comes right out. Do the same on the other side. There we go. Pull those out. This is going to be loose like this. We're going to take this adjuster out. I'm just using 2 pry bars. Just pry this apart. Take that out. Take this spring out. Now we're going to take this top spring out. I'm just going to take the shoes, just kind of twist them together a little bit. I can grab this with some locking needle nose pliers and just pull out. Pull that spring off. Just take the shoes right off. And we're going to take this bracket off. So just slide this out. And it's just clipped onto the cable right there. So it comes out like that. I'm just using some needle nose pliers on the cable. I'm just going to pull this out. Then using another pair of locking needle nose pliers, just going to lock onto the cable. Not too tight, you don't want to ruin the cable. Just enough to hold it there. Take the 2 shoes and the top spring. Put those there. Then I'm going to get the bracket. And this part of the bracket's going to go there. I'll go forward. Just be careful. Just slide this over. Then the cable's going to go through the center there. There is a spring, so you just push it on, That gets locked in place. We can take the locking pliers off. Now take these springs, get these lined up, push that in. And twist it. Do the same on the other side. Just get the shoe lined up. Push the spring in. There we go. That's in. Get those to line up. Take the lower spring, get this lined up. If you need to, you can use some needle nose pliers. Just pull this over. That's good. Now we're going to get the adjuster in there. I'm just going to use a pry bar, 2 pry bars. Just pry this apart. There we go. Let's just get these back in place. Looks good. Adjuster's in place, all the springs are in place. You can clean up the hub with a wire brush if there's any corrosion. Ours is nice and clean. We're just going to spray some anti-seize just to prevent the rotor from sticking in the future. Just a thin coat. Take the rotor, slide it in position. To make your adjustments, I'm just going to use a straight blade screwdriver or a pry bar and adjust it to tighten it up or to loosen it. You just want to tighten it a little bit. That's good, so that the shoes just barely touch. And you can always check the lever to make sure. Take the screw, get that lined up. And just snug that down, not too tight. Take the caliper. Take the caliper hanger off. Make sure the pads are spread apart here. And just slide those over the rotor. Get that lined up. Take the bolts, get those started. Down. And we're going to torque those bolts to 49 foot-pounds. Take the brake pad sensor, slide that in place, lock it down, take the wire, go where the bleeder cap is, and just wrap that around, push that on. Take the wheel, install the wheel. Make sure it's lined up. Take the lug bolts, get those started. And get the other one started. snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug nuts to 90 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Just go around again, double check. All right, that was a quick and easy job, and you're back on the road.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.